Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into my channel, All Up in Your Business. I'm your girl Roxy with the mess, and y'all, if this not the messiest mess, I don't know what is. And I'm absolutely kind of happy that um Miss Leolah Brown, which is Bobby Brown, the king of R&B, his sister, and she's basically talking to us about Whitney Houston passing, Bobby Christina, as well as Bobby Jr. passing. And I have to say this woman has been saying the same story for a very, very long time. Like it hasn't changed. And some people may think like, oh well, what does she got to gain, or what's she trying to get out of it? And I don't think, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think she's trying to get anything. I don't think she's trying to gain anything. You got to understand, when people in Hollywood, people are is corrupt. There's greed. There's envious involved. There's all that involved when someone is famous. You feel me? And I just feel like something that she is saying, because she's not famous. No, is she? I mean, her brother is famous. Yes, Bobby Brown is, but she has nothing to gain by telling her side of the story and what she believes to have happened. So I'm gonna play some clips. I'm gonna cut it off, cut it back on, do all that, and we're gonna talk about it. And y'all can, but if y'all want to watch like the full video in its entirety, whatever. Y'all want to watch a full video, okay? I can't even say the name right. Period. But if y'all want to go to me watch a full video of her talking, y'all can go to her channel, which is called Leolah Brown, The Absolute Truth. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Leolah Brown, The Absolute Truth. And she is about to tell y'all some real stuff on here. And it's not only, and the reason why I believe her is because it's not just her that said the same thing that I heard. It's the prophet Jolly. What's his name? Jolly, I think was his name. Let me see what his name is. But he was on one blogger's channel and telling her everything that happened. Why when he went to the hospice for Bobby Christina. As well, I've been doing my research and doing my homework, and there has been videos made that's basically saying the same thing she's been saying. That Whitney Houston didn't die of no overdose. Whitney Houston was clean at the time, and Whitney Houston do not get in no goddamn bathtub, okay? At no motel. But let me stop talking. Let's hear what Miss Leolah got to say.
Bobby Christina and
Let's
Bobby
rewind.
Brown Jr. I
Let's see if we can go. Okay, let's go back.
okay. I came to talk about the death of Whitney Houston, Bobby Christina, and Bobby Brown Jr. I am going to set the record straight today. I know that it's many, 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 many people in the world that think and believe that Whitney or Bobby Christina or little Bobby died of a drug overdose. That is not true. Mm-mm. I'm going to set the record straight tonight, today. Right now, it is about 9:01 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, and today's date is September the 27th. Now, I'm going to set the record straight, and I don't want to hear nobody no more. Media, this is to you too. I'm going to let you all know how they was all found. Okay, let's start with my niece. We're going to start there. And the reason I'm starting with her, because after I did my investigations, I believe that Bobby Christina was the aim first. Bobby Christina was the aim, and they wanted to kill Whitney afterwards while she was at that Beverly Hilton. They wanted to say that they found Bobby Christina in the bathtub, and then Whitney Houston committed suicide. But that is not true. That is not true. That none of that happened. None of that happened. Bobby Christina came out of the bathtub at the Beverly Hilton. Okay, but she was the first one found at the Beverly Hilton. Yeah.
Hold on, you guys. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was talks about Bobby Christina actually being in a bathtub before Whitney Houston, before all this even happened. It was reports that Bobby Christina was in a bathtub and they found her in the bathtub. And if y'all don't remember watching I don't know if it was like the Bobby Christina movie or on our own, Houston's on our own reality show, where Bobby Christina herself said that was supposed to be me. But I just wanted to say that, and then yeah, here we go.
Yes, you all didn't know that, but I have a lot of stuff coming out in the book. But I'm going to briefly tell you, I'm going to set the record straight and let you know that Whitney fought for her life. Bobby Christina fought for her life. Bobby Jr., I don't know. I don't know if he fought too hard because I think he was just tricked. Somebody spiked his drink or food or something because little Bobby Jr. was clean. Okay? Seriously. Okay, now let's start with, matter of fact, no, let's start with Whitney. We're going to start with Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston's body told anybody upon looking at it that it was foul play. Okay, don't get it twisted. No. Whitney Houston, I counted 10, at least 10 gashes in her chest alone. She had marks up and down her legs. Her fingernails were chipped. Her face was busted out. It was blown up. Yes, as if somebody was punching her in the face. Whitney Houston fought for her life. Yes, she did. Excuse me, let me have a drink of water.
Go ahead, girl. I'm about to give me some wine.
Whitney fought for her life. Whitney had skin taken off her back. There was so many things wrong with Whitney's body. I mean, it told anybody. And like I said, her security, Ray, told me that room, Whitney's room, looked like a tornado hit it. So it was a fight. It was a struggle. Okay? Yes, it was. Pat knew this, Gary knew this, but they also did something else when before the authorities got there to the hospital with Whitney. Pat and Gary staged the scene. Yes, I have an eyewitness that was there that watched them go in and out of the room after Whitney's body laid there, and they were taking things out from one room to the next. Pat and Gary did this. So Whitney's body definitely denoted that there was foul play. Okay? All of her bruises told us what happened in that room. Whitney fought for her life. There was no drugs in her system. The coroner report states that there was no drugs in Whitney Houston's system. Okay? So let's stop saying that she died of an overdose. I'm sick of seeing that in the media. That's not the case with Whitney. No, she didn't have any drugs in her system. Bobby Christina was beaten in her living room. Go and look at the police report. Bobby Christina was beaten in her living room by Nick Gordon. He beat her down with Danielle in her condo, Max Lomas, and Danielle. What's Danielle's last name?
I forgot.
I got it coming out in the book, but that's okay. Danielle, who was somebody that Chrissy was not even friends with anymore. Okay, so what was she doing in my niece's house? Yeah, we're talking about all this in the book. Nick beat Chrissy down into like a fetal position. She was screaming and crying, asking him why was he doing this to her, because she didn't know. But it was a setup. It was a setup. Yes. Nick was told not to let her go out of that house and to do whatever it was he got paid to do that for. Okay? Yeah, that's the deal. Nick Gordon was not somebody that grew up with Bobby Christina either. No, he was not. He did not grow up with her. Nobody never met him. Bobby, my brother, never met Nick. Okay, Nick was brought into the picture after Bobby and Whitney's divorce. Okay, so basically right before Whitney was murdered, Nick was brought into the picture. Okay, and if you ask me who would bring him in, I would tell you Pat Houston. Yes, yes, she set everything up. Okay, we're gonna talk today. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to you because it's obvious that Pat brought him in. And when Nick did that to Bobby Christina and she was rushed to the hospital, because after he beat her and drug her up them steps, he shot her up with something and threw her in the bathtub.
Dragged her up and knocked her teeth out.
And knocked her teeth out of her mouth. Yes. My sister Tina's here with me right now.
Hitting every step.
Reminding me of things. Okay? So, yes, Nick did all that. Also, I was getting ready to say something. After Nick did all that to Bobby Christina, he was on, I wanted to get his story. So my nephew, Gerard Brown, called him, and he was on a tape. He said, when Gerard, and I had 10 people in my living room. Some of Whitney's family was there, and the Browns were there, and some of my friends. So there are plenty witnesses. They all heard Nick on the tape. Gerard is on the phone with him. And he asked, what happened? Tell me what happened. How did Chrissy end up in the bathtub? And he just went to talking all hysterical, and he was scared. He said, I'm not going down for this. I'm not going down for this. He said, I'm not going down for this one. He said, I saved Pat with Whitney. I'm not going down for Chrissy because I already saved Pat with Whitney. So what did he save you for?
Hold up. Did y'all hear that? He said, I already saved Pat with Whitney. I'm not going down for Bobby Christina. Mind you, Nick Gordon is the dude that she was messing with, right? Mind y'all. And this is so sick because, and the reason why it's so sick is because the guy that she mentioned at first, I think his name was Max or Matt, whatever. The people that was at Bobby Christina and Nick Gordon home. It was a white dude, and then and he died first, right? And then Nick Gordon died. Come on, man. I already knew that Nick Gordon has something to do with Bobby Christina, though. But what did Pat have to do with Bobby Christina? And ain't it a coincidence that Whitney died supposedly, allegedly, in the bathtub, right? No, it's not allegedly because that's supposed to be facts. In the bathtub. And then Bobby Christina died the same way? Come on, man. I know my math, but 2 + 2 is not adding up for me. I'm sorry. It's not adding up. But y'all, this is just part one because I got a lot of parts to this. And not only is I'm going to be showing Miss Leolah Brown, but I'm also going to be showing her nephew, Shane Brown. And other people besides that. Come on, man. Let go.
Pat, how did he save you? How did he save you, huh? Is that why he's not living right now?
Yeah,
I don't know. Talk to me.
You, Pat.
Because Nick is no longer here to tell the story. Okay?
Told it wrong anyway.
So we're gonna keep this real. We're gonna keep this real. All right? And I'm gonna say this. I hope that you all don't think that I'm talking with anger right now. I'm just being passionate about this because I am so tired of seeing the media talk about Whitney Houston. They're writing up things. They keep saying that she was murdered. She murdered, death by overdose.
And you know what, you guys? I think we keep cutting her off. Have y'all noticed when it comes to any black legend, right? Any black legend, the first thing they want to say, oh, it was drugs. It was drugs. Why always drugs when it comes to black? When it comes to black legends, why it always gotta be drugs? Why she gotta go out and her name is tarnished like that? It was drugs. Think about it. They did it to Prince too. Okay?
No, Whitney Houston didn't have any drugs in her system. Okay? So, and neither did Bobby. Bobby Christina was beaten into that bathtub. And then when she entered the hospital, she snapped out of the coma quickly. She was not in a coma for a long time. No, Bobby Christina, every single time I walked in her room, me and my sister Tina together, Bobby Christina was up. Her eyes were wide open. Wide open. And I asked the nurse or doctor, I said, she never sleeps. She was always aware and up. She wanted to know who was in her room. And she looked you dead in your face. And when I walked in the room to see her, she said, She was so excited to see me. She kept trying to talk to me. The doctors saw this. They were like, oh my God, she's so excited to see you. She was trying to communicate with me. She couldn't talk. She was up. Bobby knows this. Bobby Christina was up every single day. That girl was scared to go to sleep. She was up watching TV. Bobby would sometimes come to her room and feed her popsicles and okay. So let's get out of that. Y'all, you got that idea in your head that my niece was in a coma and she was not aware and she was unresponsive. And yes, she was like that, of course, in the beginning, but she came out of that. Bobby Christina was strong. And Dr. Jolly showed them where he could bring her brain back 100%. The doctors had even told us she would be fine after about 6 months. They said it will be a little slow process, but she's doing wonderful. It wasn't until the Houstons came into that hospital after Bobby Christina communicated to her father that she did not want none of them near her bed. But they came in there and they did something to my niece. There's no way I'm going to let somebody tell me that they didn't. They did. Because then there pops up an impersonating nurse. And then Pat was going in the room by her.
Impersonating nurse. Who was the nurse? Who was the person that was impersonating to be a nurse? And Pat, with your donkey looking ass, why you have to go and sit there and go in the room by yourself? Y'all, it's more to the story because they didn't even want Bobby Brown in there. Let me digress and let y'all keep listening.
Herself all the time, and we didn't know this. She only did it when Bobby went out of town. Yes. So something was done to my niece because she was supposed to come home with us. Bobby Christina was healing, okay? And Bobby Jr., his case, I'm sorry, my nephew was homeless in California, and he called me. And he said, Auntie Lily, I have nowhere to go. I have a friend, a Facebook friend. And this is not somebody that's going to tell a lie for me, so don't think that that's what's going on, because I didn't even know her then. I had just made a Facebook post and said, who's in LA and up right now? Please respond to me. And my friend Tawana in LA responded to me. And she said, I'm up. I said, please call me. And I asked her if she could take my nephew in because he was in the streets in LA. And I had no idea. And I asked him, what happened, little Bobby? He said that his father's wife, Alicia, did not want him in his father's house. And he said, Auntie Lily, I didn't do it.
Y'all, that's why I said it's gonna be a part 2. I'm gonna get on that motherfucking Brokeback Mountain looking ass bitch, Alicia, because bitch, you never did like Bobby Christina. Then you didn't want Bobby Jr. staying with his daddy. Girl, I can't wait to do that video on her ass. And y'all, it gets deep. It gets real deep.
anything. Little Bobby is a very respectful young man. He said, I don't know why she doesn't want me in the house, so I can't stay with my father, and I don't know nobody in California. I'm just out here in the street. He said, I lost my job. He was working, struggling, trying to get his music on, paying his own way. But the job that he held down, he got fired on because he had an argument or a fight with somebody that kept picking on him about him being Bobby Brown's son and working a 9 to 5. That's why little Bobby didn't have a job no more. These people kept bothering him every day of his life. And then my friend Tawana takes him in. I sent him money. I cashed app him money for food and the things that he needed. I thanked Tawana for keeping him, and she went and picked him up in LA and everything and brought him to her house. It was days after that that little Bobby was found dead in a condo that is in Alicia's name. And he wasn't found dead until my brother Bobby left LA and came to Atlanta, and we were having dinner in a restaurant together. And little Bobby FaceTimed his father, and we were all sitting there looking at Bobby. Little Bobby looked so healthy and clean. He didn't look like he had ever did a drug in his life. And the next day he was dead. Oh yes, this is what happened, you all. Come on. So there's foul play with everybody, especially Whitney and Chrissy. Whitney was most definitely murdered. Bruises all up and down her legs, her fingernails were chipped, her lip was busted, her face was swollen like somebody was punching her in the face.
I believe it, y'all.
Her cousin called me. I went to the body viewing. I flew into New York, went to my hotel, and just as I'm getting ready to go to her body viewing, Whitney's cousin called me screaming and crying. She said, Lily, who did this to her? I said, what's going on? She said, I just seen Nippy and her face is all big. It popped up and busted up like somebody punched her in the face. Yes, they had Whitney laying in the casket like that. But you could see her then at the body viewing, but the funeral, they had a closed casket on Whitney because she was so messed up. Okay? So Whitney Houston, no, she was murdered. Her room looked like a tornado hit it. So Whitney was fighting for her life. Why didn't her brother Gary and Pat get in the media and tell that? Why? Why didn't they reveal that to the public, that somebody murdered Whitney? I know why.
I do too. And the reason why is because Pat Houston set that whole damn thing.
Okay? So no, Whitney Houston was murdered. Let's get that straight.
She about to say, let's get that shit straight. She don't cuss, but I do. But that's the reason why that they didn't say anything. Pat Houston wanted so bad to be like Whitney Houston. Have you ever seen that damn reality show On My Own? Houston On My Own? Have y'all ever seen that? She was trying so hard to be all up in Bobby Christina business, control what she do, where she go, what she say, and all the bullshit. Like, come on now. Goddamn. But yeah, I know why. Do y'all? But anyway, y'all, it's going to be a part 2 to this. So please stay tuned. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And leave it in the comments what you guys think. Because, you know, there's always a conspiracy. Damn, I can't even fucking talk, y'all. I'm off this little wine, but that's okay. But, you know, like I said, if y'all think this is what the fuck am I trying to say? Let me slow down. If y'all believe in conspiracies, there we go. That's the word right there while my kids in the background laughing at me, my grown-ass sons. If y'all think this is a conspiracy, you know, leave a comment and let me know what y'all think. But this is part 1, y'all. Watch till we get to part 2. We ain't just talking about Pat Houston raggedy ass. We're gonna talk about Alicia raggedy motherfucking ass. So until then, y'all, I'm up out of here. Peace, y'all.